Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Drop. And this movie came out in 2014, starring Tom Hardy, Noomi Rapace, James Gandolfini, if I pronounced that correctly. And I thought this movie was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And this is the first Michael R. Roskam. I think I pronounced that correctly. Probably not. This is the first movie that I've seen from him. I wasn't sure really what to expect, but what I got was a movie that had me unsettled at many points in the film, and I liked the tone of this movie. I always felt uneasy, which is good, because in this environment you're never supposed to feel safe, like something's wrong here, and that's really what I got out of this movie, is that throughout the story, always keep your eyes open, and you never really know what's to expect. And I thought Tom Hardy did a great job in this film, and really the acting is really what carries this movie. And the story, it's pretty simple, but I feel as though what they do with it and the directions the story takes is always thoroughly engaging, and nothing is particularly unsatisfying whenever we get to a certain point. And this world that's set up is interesting and also very well established, and it's not overly convoluted. You can piece it together pretty well, I feel. And it's a story that you can follow pretty easily, I feel, also on top of that. I like the characters in this movie. I think they're very well defined and interesting characters. And Tom Hardy is, obviously, with the main character, he's the most likable character, or at least the most likable male character in this movie. I also like the dog. I love dogs. And the dog didn't feel like a annoying plot device. It felt like a natural part of the story, and what they do with the dog, I didn't feel as though it was distasteful at any point. And I also like how meeting this one little dog just connects all these different characters, which I find to be kind of funny, but it doesn't feel unnatural. These characters felt like real people to me. I liked how the story unfolds. That's another thing that kept me going in this movie, and this movie has a great runtime, under 2 hours, which is nice. It never once overstays its welcome. There's some tense scenes in this movie that worked successfully. And there's also not a lot of violence in this movie, surprisingly. Like, I was expecting a lot of action and disturbing things in it, but surprisingly, it's mostly just scenes of just characters not feeling safe. And that's really what keeps me going through it, is that, are you safe at any point in this story or in any particular scene? Nope. And this movie is mostly dialogue, and I found those scenes to be compelling, because what characters were talking about was always interesting to me. And I did have a few issues with this movie, and my biggest issue is that I didn't really care for the music in this movie, and I think that wouldn't impact me as much had I not watched a Cache directly before this, where there's no music in that movie, and everything that's tense in that movie works much better than this because of the lack of music in that film. Whereas this, yeah, there's music, but it doesn't really add to anything, and it wasn't anything particularly memorable to me either. And also, I found some of the narration could have been cut out, and I feel as though the movie would have been a bit better. But that's like a small thing for me, and there's only narration in 2 scenes in the movie, at the very beginning and at the end. And that's about all I have to say about The Drop, surprisingly. I thought I was going to have like a lot to say about it, but really it's a movie that just works. There's nothing particularly bad about it. The performances are great. Things are presented very well. I found this story to be compelling. And in terms of how the movie is shot, like, it's competent. I didn't find any particular style in terms of how the movie was shot, which was fine. I didn't feel unintentionally claustrophobic at any point. And overall, I just found this to be a really solid film that I would watch again, and I would show to other people, and I would recommend that you check it out, because it's good, and I don't really have much else to say about it. So, with all that being said, I'm going to give The Drop an 8 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of the drop, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for the Warriors. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.